Brad has taken game 1 from the Azorius control side. This is in the 3-1 bracket. And game 2, what a mess we have here. And it looks like the kind of mess that may favor the Azorius player.
Multiple Stony Silence, protecting against things like sideboard Nature's Claims.
Discarding to hand size, which is what that Path to Exile just did. We have a Crucible in play, it looks like. Yeah, what do we have? It's 2 Stony Silence and a Crucible of Worlds?
Yeah, there's a lot of basic lands and no Tron for Jay Eaton here.
Yeah, I feel like there's maybe a Field of Ruin or something going on. But what Jay does have is he does have World Breaker. World Breaker looks like it's going to get countered by a Ceremonious Rejection. Now that trigger's still going to happen. Actually, not countered. Land's just exiled.
All right, well, Brad is very light on mana here.
Well, he discarded a Path to Exile to hand size, which makes me think he's got a way to exile World Breaker, and he does. It's Detention Sphere. Well, Teferi's going, so he's still untapping lands. This goes back up to 3, so that's some mana.
Yeah, gets to do that and possibly leave up some counterspell here.
Looks like we've seen some Surgical Extractions cast. Interestingly, out of the Tron deck, I think we saw Surgical Extraction cast. And out of Brad's deck, both players have played Surgicals. This is interesting.
Huh. I guess the Surgicals were to fight over Snapcaster Mages.
Well, you know, the first rule about the Cranial Extraction mirror was that your first Cranial Extraction names Cranial Extraction.
Well, yeah, you want to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah. And now Jay is going to get his Urza's Power Plants surgically extracted.
Yeah, he didn't abide by the rules. He didn't surgical.
His hand is a Chromatic Star and an Ulamog. Counting lands here, though, we're up to 7 lands. Ulamog could happen.
Yeah, it is 3 lands away, and surgicaling lands makes that less likely. The Tron deck looks like for Jay Eaton, 21 lands total in the deck to start.
But Brad is planeswalkering out his opponent. He's fate sealing with Jace. Teferi continues to climb toward that emblem. Once you get those together, a Teferi emblem plus a Jace 0 is a pretty nice place to be.
You get to exile a lot of permanents real quick.
So the win is represented on the board, and Jay's got to find a way out, but I don't think Jace will let him find a way out.
No, that's not what Jace the Mind Sculptor is want to do.
And Jay's going to get his mind sculpted here.
And Brad with a fistful of cards. I'm pretty sure there's at least a Cryptic Command in the holdings.
It'd be kind of surprising if there wasn't. Cast Vendilion Click. Looks at Jay's hand.
Uses some fancy stacking there with the Teferi trigger on the stack, tap the lands for mana, untap them, and then get this click in.
Another Ulamog drawn by Jay. He sees the emblem and sees the Jace and extends the hand. So Brad Bonin on Azorius control. Is going to pick up the win. So for Azorius, it's 1-1. Todd Stevens not able to get it done, but Brad is. Both players will be at 4-1.
And we caught Jim Davis losing to Tron earlier in the tournament.